All right. Okay, so we're gonna go over just a bunch of questions that you guys had, and hopefully I can answer some of these for you. And like I said, we have some other people that are gonna help me answer these questions. So we're just going to kick it off. I'm going to go in order. I added a couple of questions that I've noticed about just from talking with y'all or seeing different things you've posted in the chats and things like that that I wanted to cover. And if you have questions, feel free to drop those in the chat. If we have time, I can go back and answer those. If we don't, then I can try to answer them maybe in a live video on the team page or something like that. Okay, first question, how do you have the belief in yourself when you haven't seen success yet? And I love this question because I feel like a lot of newbies might feel this way. Like, how do I have belief that this thing can happen when I've never done this thing before? So I know Brooke had a couple of different questions. I'll go ahead and kind of open it up to you and ask you to unmute yourself so that you can answer that question and or the next two that you asked. And if you want me to answer any of those, or if you want to ask them, because I only asked the first one. So just take it away.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. But seriously, like pop in whenever, because I feel like God always speaks through you and you always say exactly what people need to hear. So it's really, really cool. All right, I'm gonna go to gallery view so I don't stare at myself. So hi, if you don't know me, I am Brooke from South Dakota, and just a quick snippet, I started for gas money and then realized, wow, I need to dream way bigger than that, and then started paying off my car 2 years early and just went crazy, and then I ended up staying home with my son. So here I am. That's a 10-second story. So the belief thing, like I was a teacher, and so I taught band, and I remember in my senior recital, I had like, if you know anything about music, it's an altissimo note, but it's literally like, it's not even on the actual fingering chart for your instrument. It's one of those. And I was like, there's absolutely no way I can hit this note. Like, I'm going to mess up my senior recital. There's no way. There's no way this works. There's no way I can do it. That's literally what I said. And my instructor was like, stop it. Just straight up stop. And I was like, what? And he's like, if you say you can't, you can't. And I obviously had never hit that note before. So similar to this business, you've never done this business before. So when I joined, I was like, oh, is this going to work? Babe, am I crazy for joining this? Like, I thought I was crazy because I had never done it before and I didn't know if it was going to work. But guess what? I saw Morgan paying for her cash. I don't know what type of car she had because I'm not a car person, but I saw her paying for her car. I saw her paying. Obviously, she's sitting in her house that she is paid for right now. Like, I saw that and I was like, well, she's a real person. I see her on her stories all the time. Like, obviously this works. And so I know it's extremely hard, but you have to borrow our belief because we wouldn't be here if we didn't believe this worked, and we wouldn't sign you up if we did not think that we could help you succeed. And so I know it's extremely, extremely hard to believe in yourself, especially if you struggle with self-confidence, but I promise you, just borrow some of ours and you will get there. I don't even remember what my second question was. I'm really sorry. I can pull it up.
I can ask it. And one thing I want to say really quick before we get off of that, because the second question's a little different.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When people mention running a 5-minute mile, no one thought it could be done until the first man did it. Then people after that continue to break that 5-minute mile record. Now there's like hundreds and thousands of people who have broken that 5-minute mile, but it took the first person doing it to show people it could be done. Right? So what I want you to look at is that you have people surrounding you. That's why it's so important to show up to these things. So kudos to you for being here. But guys, you're looking at people who have done what you want to do. So no, do I think I can go ambassador? There are times where I don't have that belief, but I've seen that other people can do it. So why not me? Why not me? What do they have that I don't have? Did God really create them and say, ooh, I'm going to give this one something extra special. Morgan, not so much. Sorry about that. No, that's not at all how that went. So why would I think, oh, this person can go ambassador, but I can't do that. Or this person can earn the Emerald $5,000 bonus, but I can't. This person can get their shopping spree, but not me. You have to grow in that belief, and that's going to come as you continue to just take one step forward, one step forward, one step forward, right? The guy didn't just go from being a couch potato to going and running a 5-minute mile. There were steps that he took to get there. So maybe right now you're sitting in a spot where you feel like that is so far away. Whatever that thing is, maybe it's diamond. And I'll just kind of tie this into the next question, which is
I have one more thing to say before you go on to the next question too.
Okay. But whatever that thing is, if it's so far away, just win the day. That's what I want you to do. That's how you grow your belief. Don't worry about this big monster of a thing that you're trying to accomplish. Maybe, for me, it's ambassador. It looks like a mountain. And I'm like, holy cow, there's so many things that have to come together for this to happen. And it seems so like such a big deal. Put a 1 in the chat. If you're going for a goal right now, if you're on the Zoom, you're probably going for a goal. If you're not, you should be talking to your enroller. We'll figure out a goal for you. But if maybe it's your shopping spree, maybe it's ruby, maybe it's emerald, maybe it's diamond, maybe it's ambassador, maybe it's presidential, I don't know what it is. But guys, when you are shooting for that goal, if it seems too far away, you have to bring yourself back to what can I do today to win the day. If it looks too hard to win that goal, win the day. And then you're going to win again tomorrow. And then you're going to win again the next day, just like the guy who ran the 5-minute mile. He didn't go for me and couch potato to running the 5-minute mile. He said, I'm gonna, hone in on my diet. I'm going to take care of what I'm putting into my body to make sure that it's fueling me. I'm going to drink a gallon of water every single day. And he started making those changes. And every day he showed up and he did the sprints. He did the long distance running. He did all the things. I'm not a runner, but the shoes, like, I don't know. There's so many things that go into that. You don't jump in and run a marathon. You don't jump in and run a 5-minute mile. There's preparation that happens before that. And what if you lack the belief from where you are to where you want to be, it's because you're missing that there's a huge gap of preparation in between. And you're trying to get from where you are now to wherever that thing is. And that's not how it works. That's not how any of us got here. We didn't just like take one jump and hit diamond. There was preparation that happened. There was learning new things. There was trying new things. There was a lot of failing over and over and over and over again to get us to where we are. So if you don't have a brain cell for where you're going and you're like, I could never be a diamond. Did you know that I thought that one day too? I used to think I could never hit diamond, that I was unworthy of making that much money a month. I used to think that only special people with like, I don't know, like whatever, like that they were the ones who went diamond, not me. And so I never thought that that was possible for myself. I never saw it for myself. That's why it took me 14 months to get there. Because I never saw it for myself. So you have to grow that belief in yourself by just taking one step in front of the other and know that if you keep walking every single day, you're gonna eventually get where you want to go. But it's not one just leap straight to your destination. And I think that's where the disconnect here comes in, is when you think that that's how it happens. But when you realize it's winning the day every day and that there's preparation involved, that there's maturity that's involved in this business as you mature as a business owner, you're going to get where you want to go. So I think that that's the biggest thing that we forget when we lack that belief. Brooke, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that you actually said pretty much what I was going to say. I was just going to give them like a real example of like, especially at conference, I had multiple people come up and tell me that they thought I was a diamond, and that like warmed my heart because I'm not a diamond yet, and I will be this month, but I'm not. And why I bring that up is because today on Susan Wade's team, I was announced as the #2 top distributor enroller, and like I might get emotional, but like that's my mind. My mind, because I have had that on my dream board. Like I look up to Morgan and Hannah more than I can put into words, and like they are consistently on there. I was like, what the heck are they doing? What the heck are they doing? And everyone's like, make a decision, make a decision. And I think I made that decision multiple times, but I don't think I actually believed in myself that I could be on there. I think it literally saw my name today and I was like, oh my God. And then at conference, I feel like it was Susan, but it could have been, no, maybe it was Denise. Someone said, if you can go Ruby, you can go ambassador. And I was like, well, heck, I've gone Ruby. All right, why can't I do this? And literally it was a switch for me from that point because I believed in myself. And so I've been in this business almost 3 years and I finally started believing in myself. Please don't take as long as I did. This is what I wanted to share with you because it's surreal, but it can happen for you if you're willing to put the work in.
That is so good. I have literal chills all over my body. So I think too, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but whenever you made that decision, it didn't just, like I said before, like how many DTs did you enroll to be a top enroller?
5. Well, 5. 4 on your chart, but 5 if you include the 31st.
Okay, so 5 for the week or whatever. So that's a lot, by the way. That's insane. So let's just like congratulate her in the chat because it's a really big deal. Because Susan Wade's team is huge. Like we're under her, but she also has a lot of other people under her. So it's like a really big deal that Brooke is on that list. So it didn't start from 0 to 5. It was started with 1. And what I was gonna say, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you signed that 1, you were like, I bet I could sign 2. And you signed the second one and you were like, oh, I'm gonna sign 3. And then she signed a third, right? She didn't say like, oh, I have 0, let me sign 5 in a week. She said, let me win the day.
100%. I texted you every time. I was like, I'm gonna sign one more. I'm gonna sign one more. And I did it.
And then you got to 5 and you looked back and you were like, how did I get here? That's what it's gonna be. That's the belief. It's the one step in front of the other, and eventually you're gonna look back and be like, how did I get this far? Like, how did this happen? You know what I mean? Do y'all ever look down whenever you walk and you like look up and you're like, man, I've walked so far and I didn't even know. I just was like in a daze. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, but you're intentionally putting one foot in front of the other. You're thinking about that. You're being consistent. So did you have anything else that you wanted to say?
No, that was the last part on the belief thing.
Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing. That was really good. So the next question, I kind of talked about this already, but it was like, I want diamond, like I want to promote to diamond. I want to get this bonus. I'm only maintaining executive, which is it's distributor, executive, ruby, emerald, diamond. Okay. So she's saying I'm only maintaining executive, or I'm only, promoted to executive, whatever it might be, but I want to go diamond and get this bonus. It's the same thing. The answer is the same as what I said before. It's just putting one foot in front of the other. And I want to add, show up as the person that you want to be. Show up as a diamond and you're going to become that. Because it's very rare that your back office is going to show a rank that you're not up here yet. So when you say, I'm going to go ruby, well, become a ruby here. Do things that rubies do. Would rubies get on Zooms? Heck yes, they would. That's why all of y'all are here. Super proud of you. Would a ruby do their 6 list every single day? We'll talk about that in a little bit. Yes, they would. So do that every day. If you want to do the things, if you want to be this rank, if you want to be diamond in this example, show up as a diamond leader. Do what they do. Be the person who people forget that you're not actually that rank because you show up as that rank. You know what I'm saying? Make people forget that that's not where you are yet. Because it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you have a clear vision of where you're going. It doesn't matter where you start. It just matters where you finish. And it matters that you do, because so many won't. Okay. All right. Let's see. Next question. Okay. Somebody said, what is your biggest volume boosting tip? Don't wait till the end of the month. Okay. So if you're brand new here, whenever we say volume boosting tip, volume is just every amount of every product is worth a certain amount of volume, and that's what we get paid on. So at the end of the month, you need certain amounts of volume to just be able to promote and things like that. There's no quotas, there's no like minimums or anything like that. But for promotions, you have to hit certain benchmarks to hit promotions. This is what they're talking about. So at the end of the month, typically you're like, okay, this is all the orders have ran from the prior month. So I know how much volume I need to get, and your enroller will help you with this as you go. But if you're charted for a promotion and you know who you are on here, put a 1 in the chat if you're charted for Ruby, meaning you have your 3 distributors that you need. Okay. And if you're brand new and you're like, I want that to be me, this is your belief right here. This is your belief. This is not a comparison where you're like, they can do this and I can't. No, God put everything in you that you need to be successful at this business, or he wouldn't have brought you here. So I want you to look in the chat and say, if they can do it, I can do it. If they can do this, so can I. So if you're charted for your promotion, here's my volume boosting tip for you. Start now. Because the issue that so many people run into isn't that they don't have enough volume. It's that they don't have enough volume because they started working on the 25th of the month. When if you had started working on the 1st of the month, you wouldn't be in such a crunch or a pinch to get all this volume all at once. Okay, so that's honestly my biggest volume boosting tip, because I've never been so strapped for volume at the end of a promotion because I'm so consistent. I work day in and day out throughout the month. So I'm not just like scrambling at the end of the month trying to figure out what I'm doing. So, the other thing though is make sure that you're upselling. Okay, so this is just like a good principle for anybody. So these are that's probably my best volume boosting tip is start now and upsell. Okay, that's the stuff that you should be doing anyways, which is the good news is that you don't have to do anything drastically different on the months that you promote as long as you're putting in the right amount of work every other month. You just keep doing the same thing, right? And it keeps adding on to itself with more people involved. So whenever you upsell, what I mean by that is like adding on another product to a customer's order. So here's why that's important. Because whenever we're adding products to a customer's order, they're going to get better results. Think about if somebody wants to lose weight and they're ordering the ThermoFight X. Well, it's clinically proven. We know that the product works. They're going to lose some weight. But let's think about a customer who's using the ThermoFight X, our coffee, our slimming gummies, and our skinny tea. Who's going to get better results? Ooh, Rachel, you're unmuted. It's okay, I muted you. You're good. So who's going to get, you're good. Nobody heard anything that you said. You popped up on the front of my page. So who's going to get better results? The person using all the products, right? So whenever you're using products in like combination with each other, they work synergistically together. So we want to help people order as many products as possible. And that also is going to boost your volume, right? You're going to get paid more. They're going to get better results, and it's a win-win. So what I typically do is I'm talking to them about whatever products that they're interested in. Maybe it's the weight loss pack. Maybe it's the coffee. Maybe it's the gummies, whatever it might be. And then I always get their information to place their order myself. If you're one of my distributors, like I enrolled you, we've gone through this where you see the conversation that I have and I get their information and I place their order for them. Most people on our team do that. Maybe your enroller doesn't do that, but most of us have taught you that. So when you get their information, after that is when I say, oh, by the way, while I'm putting this order in, did you want to add blank to your order? And I can post a couple of upselling scripts in here too, for y'all to have. But I just ask them that because here's the thing. If they add on the cleanse, then they do. And if they don't, then they don't. But it's up to me to ask them, right? Like it's up to me to ask. Oh, Amber's putting them in there. But it's up to me to ask them. And the worst case scenario is that they say no and I still have an order going in for the other product that they wanted. Best case scenario, they say yes, they get better results, they're excited about more products, they order for longer because they're getting hooked on something. When they're ordering 4 different things, they're gonna fall in love with at least one of those things and wanna order it forever. That's what we wanna help them do, okay? So that's my volume boosting tips. Let's see, somebody said something about comparison too, which we kind of hit on a second ago. So is Caitlin, I'll have to find you on here. And I know Caitlin Allen was going to say something on that too. So I asked you to unmute yourself. If you want to talk on comparison a little bit, and I can kind of chime in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that comparison is in all aspects of our life. So when we talk about comparison, we're talking about weight, maybe your job that you work at, somebody else got a promotion before you. Comparison is not something we just deal with the business. So you may already struggle with comparison in other aspects of your life, and then the business has kind of stressed you out, or it's almost magnified comparison because you're seeing people in the chat and you're seeing people enroll and you're like, I've got nothing. And I think everyone's felt that way at least a few days of our business, probably more than that. And I definitely dealt with this. Whenever I joined, I kind of just launched out really quickly and I promoted each month from the beginning. And so whenever I didn't promote that 3rd month, I was like, obviously I've done something wrong. And you get on the Zooms and we have those speakers who tell us, I went presidential in 27 days, like all those crazy stories, or just realistic things. Like I went diamond in 3 months, it's doable. And so you hear all those stories. We hear from top enrollers, income earners, all those things. And we think, oh my God, that's amazing. And I do agree. It is amazing. And it's definitely done. Obviously it's done because we've heard from lots of people, but I do want you to not focus on that because and this is something that's hard for me to grasp and I'm still working on it. And so you guys might feel the same way, but it is literally not up to you. it is in God's timing. And if you are putting in all the work, you are doing the things, you are sending out those messages, don't confuse this with not working. Because I don't mean that you get to work 3 days a month and then at the end you're like, oh, it's just not in God's timing. Well, no, that's not really the same thing. You have to work. You have to do the things. You have to show up. And if you're not promoting, maybe it's for a reason. Maybe God is preparing you for something bigger. Maybe you're going to double promote the next month. Or maybe you're not ready for that leadership role yet, and God is going to put people in your business who challenge you and give you that grit where you can lead your team, you can do Zooms, you can get in three-way chats and all of those things. And when you feel like, oh my God, I'm not enrolling, oh my God, I'm not doing enough, check your self-development. I often find that whenever I feel the most insecure in my business or just feel out of it, it's because I'm not doing self-development and my mind's not right. Exactly. God cannot bless the work if you aren't doing it. So do the work and show up. And if you don't hit your promotion and you feel like you freaking rocked your month, that's okay. Rocking your month is still a good thing. You are that much closer the next month to hitting that promotion, and God is going to bless your work, but you have to put your hands to the plow.
So good. So good. And here's the thing, guys, comparison is going to follow you wherever you go, whether it's in this business or not, if you don't change yourself. So I see so often that people are like, oh, I'm just comparing myself, like this is really bad for my mental health. So then they quit. And I'm like, so you just automatically stop being a person who compares themselves? Like, no, you quitting this business, or you backing off from this business, or you unfriending every single person who you compare yourself to, you're still somebody who compares themselves. So the change has to start here, sis. The change has to start here. If you want to not be somebody who compares themselves, I challenge you to work on yourself in that, because I'm somebody who used to compare so badly. It was such a toxic trait that I had. It was debilitating. It was something that I struggled with every single day. Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to be honest enough to say, yeah, that's me. And no judgment here, because that's 100% who I was. And thank the Lord that I'm not that way anymore. Not because I don't struggle, but because I recognize when I'm doing it, and then I know how to stop it. I can tell you a couple of different things that I did, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is that comparison is not something that this business has caused within you. It's just who you are as a person, and you have the ability to change that, but not doing this business isn't going to change that. Does that make sense? And it's not just comparing yourself in this business. Like, I used to compare myself whenever I get on Instagram, it'd be every girl's face, every girl's hair, every girl's body, every girl's swimsuits, every girl's clothes, every girl's relationship. Like, I compared myself literally with absolutely anything and everything. Right? Like, everything that I could think of to put myself down, I did that. And so one thing that helped me is reminding myself like who I am in those moments, and saying, no, I'm strong too. My body doesn't look like that, but that's okay. Like, good for her. And what I started to do is I started to encourage the people that I compared myself to. And that's how I broke free from the trap of comparison. So whenever you see somebody who you start to compare yourself to, I double dog dare you to comment something on that post, because it's usually through social media. Or if it's in person and you see a girl and you're like, she's way prettier than me. How about just say, wow, she's so beautiful. Hey, oh my gosh, I just wanted to tell you, like, you're literally so pretty. I know that's really random and weird, but you're so pretty. And I've done that to people. And they're like, thank you so much. Like, people don't say nice stuff about each other. They just gossip. And it works. We always talk about reverse gossip. If you were at a conference, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Reverse gossip. Yes, Desiree knows what I'm talking about. We did some reverse gossip, and it's where you don't talk bad about people behind their back. It's where you talk good about them in front of their face, and you talk and speak life over them. And so go do that with people that you compare yourself to. Whenever I see a girl on Instagram that I compare myself to, I comment and I say, girl, you were killing it in the gym. So proud of you. Whenever, and it's somebody that I used to compare, but whenever you change your mindset to good for them, it makes you want to be better. Like, I see their post, and instead of being super down on myself for the next 3 hours, I'm like, good for them. But I do need to get my butt in the gym, though, and that just really inspired me, so let's go. Like, I'm better than what I've been doing. Let's go. And then tell them that, you know, in this business, I compare myself to other people all the time. It doesn't go away just because you become a top income earner. It doesn't go away just because you hit the top rank in the company. Like, you still compare yourself because it's who you are as a person. It doesn't go away just because things change around you. You have to change yourself. And so I still go through people who I compare myself to, or I used to compare myself to, and I encourage them. I tell them how awesome that I think that they are. And then we became friends because I started to encourage them. And now that we're friends and I see them for who they really are, they're still absolutely amazing people. But I see the crap that they don't post on social media and realize, wow, they're not as big of a deal as I thought that they were. And that's no slight to them. It's just that they're real and they do have issues. They just don't post about it because none of us do, right? We don't post about the fight that we had with our husband. We post about the date night. But then you compare their date night with your fight, and then you start to compare yourself. Okay, I'm starting to preach a little bit, so I'm gonna get off the comparison thing, but I just feel so strongly about that because I feel like freed from that. And I know that if I can do that, you can do that, because I was just so entangled in that trap for a long time that I never thought that I'd be able to break free from it. So, and I have, and you can too, but you have to be consistent with that. Desiree posted something a second ago, and I saw some other questions, but they were also questions that were in the thing that I'm going through. So we'll get to all those. But Desiree posted something and said, how do we secure initial sales? What is the best thing to get people to actually try the products? Search the word assertive. I just put it in the chat. Search the word assertive and Dare to be Diamond. Desiree already tagged you in it. But if anybody else wants to know that, go look in Dare to be Diamond. I made a video back in the summer, and I've gone over this since then, but we have so many new people. I know some of you haven't seen this. It's a video of me literally going through my entire conversation with every single person that I've talked to that day that all signed up on the spot, and how to be assertive and how to flow that conversation and end everything with a question. I give tons of tips and all that good stuff. So make sure that you get on that and watch that video if you feel like you're struggling with that. Super helpful. Okay, let's see. Sorry. Okay, so somebody said, how do you help somebody sign distributors even though they don't think that they can teach them? They don't think that they're ready. So I want to speak to the person who doesn't think that they're ready. Put a 2 in the chat if you're like, I really want to sign distributors. I want to help people join this business. I want to go like Ruby. I want to go Emerald, whatever it might be. But I am scared to death because I don't know what I'm doing. Put a 2 in the chat. You're like, I'm scared because I don't know if I can train them. What if they don't do good and it's my fault? Okay, couple things I want to say to you. And whoever asked this question, it might help you too just to hear what I'm saying, because maybe speak this to that person that you're struggling with. But here's the deal, guys. You're never going to feel 100% ready. Okay? Put that in the chat. If you just put a 2, I want you to write in the chat, I'm never going to feel 100% ready. Put it in the chat. Everybody that wrote a 2, put it in the chat. I'm never going to feel 100% ready. And then here's what I want you to realize. It's not even about you at all. And I mean that in love, and here's why I say that. Because when you think about bringing someone into this business and you change their life with this opportunity, think about you. Think about your situation. What if the person that signed you up just didn't feel ready? Where would you be right now? Or maybe your situation isn't that bad and you're like, well, we'd still be pretty okay. Well, think about the person who right now, it's after dinner and they didn't get to eat so that they could put food on the table for their children. So they're going to bed hungry so they could feed their kids. And that's a story of somebody on our team. That's why I use that example, because it's an actual true thing that someone was dealing with on our team before she found this business, because I was posting about it on Facebook. But what if I just didn't feel ready? Do you see now how that selfish and it's not about us at all. And when we take that, and I don't say selfish like you're a selfish person, I'm saying that thought process, although you're trying to be helpful to that person that you bring in because you want the best for them, but they've got to get here first. We've got to get them in. We've got to show them that this opportunity is real and that it's available to them. So for us not to let other people know about this because we don't feel ready, that's not fair. It's our job to share this. It's our diligence to share this, because if we don't, then we're being selfish to hold it in. So I know that even if I don't feel ready to do something, I never felt ready to sign a distributor. I felt so inadequate. So I understand what you feel whenever you're like, I don't know if I can do this. I didn't either. And you know what? I actually did really crappy with the first people that I signed. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a training. I didn't have boards and scripts and Zooms and team pages. Okay, I didn't have any of that. And a lot of people that put 2s in the chats, you joined in the last 30 days. So you came in seeing this. This was not here when I started. And I don't expect you to be at a certain level, and you don't need to be at a certain level to sign distributors. They just need the hope. And you have that, and I don't care how long you've been here. They need hope, and that's what you can give them. If nothing else, you can give them hope. And practically, your enroller will help you train them. So I don't want you to hold yourself back, especially hold them back, just because you don't feel ready. So now put a 3 in the chat if you've changed your perspective. If you were a 2 person and you changed your perspective and you're like, all right, I want to help some people today. I want to help some people tomorrow. I'm ready to change some people's lives even before I feel ready. I don't feel ready now still, but I realize that it's not about me. It's not about me feeling ready. It's not about how I feel. I'm going to do something to change someone else's life because I feel so strongly in this business and I feel so passionate about helping other people. Okay, so good. Okay, so hopefully that helped. I don't want you to just like put 3s in the chat to make me feel better, but like I really want to know that helped you change your perspective, because there's no pressure on you. Get them in and we're going to help them. With all the training and all the leaders and all the people that we have, they're not going to fall through the cracks. We're going to help you. Okay. Let's see. I'm making sure I don't miss any questions. Hang on. Okay. The next question down here, lots of people tagging everybody. Okay, so Yesenia asked, what brings you the most enrollments month after month? Every month I see you enroll 30 plus customers. What are you doing consistently? Okay, so I'm a top distributor and top customer enroller pretty consistently. And I'm not saying that to brag or put a cape on my back. I'm just saying what I'm about to say hopefully has weight to it, because I do show up. I do have proof that what I'm about to say does work. So hopefully this helps you. And if you have notes or if you're a note taker, write this down. I'm going to give you the secret. Ready? I'm going to give you the secret. So you might want to get something out to write with. I'm about to give you a really big secret of how I am a top customer and distributor enroller. Are you ready? Consistency. That's it. That's it. So if you got a pen and paper out, you like ran to go get a pen and paper, you're like, really? That's it. But listen, guys, it's not complicated. There is no secret. I'm consistent. I show the F up every day. Every day. Every single day I show up. I do it when I don't feel like it. I do it when I don't want to. I do it when I stub my toe and have a headache. I show up anyways. So here's the things I do. Whenever I say I show up, you're like, what does showing up mean? What do you do when you show up? Like, what does that mean? Okay, so here's what I do. My 6 list. The 6 list. Can somebody put the 6 list? Brooke, will you put it in the chat? The 6 list is posting, messaging, adding to your network, self-development, following up, interacting, and plugging in. Okay, those are your 6 lists. If you do that every single day, you're going to be successful at this business. And that's the good news. The bad news is that there's no one that's sitting there making you do that. You don't have a boss. You are your own boss. You have to be disciplined to do this on your own without somebody telling you to do it, without having to clock in and have someone be accountable to know if you did or if you didn't do these things. Okay, so be consistent, show up, do your 6 lists every single day. That's all. That's all I do. And I'll tell you a couple of things that I do as well that help me. So I show my face on my story every single day, whether it's me making my coffee, whether it's me talking about my dog, whether it's a little boomerang of my dog, whether it's a boomerang of me getting my lashes done, whether it's me talking about a recipe that I made. No matter what it is, it doesn't have to be about the business, but I show my face every day. I do something to show who I am. That builds trust in people that are following you, and it also helps people to see and hear and feel your excitement. Because people want to follow someone who knows where they're going, and they can see some of that through a post. But do you feel the closest with people that you FaceTime with, or that you just see pop up on your Facebook? The FaceTime, right? Because you see their face, you can tell that they're genuine, you hear their excitement, you get, hyped up, and then they're excited, they're just telling you all this stuff, right? So whenever I get on my Instagram stories, if I'm talking about the business, I'm so excited. I may have had the crappiest day. I may have had 7 customers not text me back, but I am always so excited. And it's so funny because Derek's my husband. You'll get to know him and his personality. He's hilarious. But he was telling me the other day, and this kind of ties into this, so stick with me. My husband the other day, he was like, why do all y'all It Works girls do that? I was like, why do we do what? He was like, why are y'all always so excited? Like, hey guys, just popping on, so excited. I'm just sitting down. That's all. But I'm so excited. Like, he was just like making fun of me. But like, literally, I always get on there, and he heard Rachel Jones's story, which is what brought this up. And because I do that all the time too, and he's like, you're just always so excited. Like, hey guys, just, I don't know what, he said some other stuff, but like literally not doing anything. He's like, just walked in the door, so excited. Nothing's really going on today, but just excited. And so we're going to do a TikTok eventually. We're going to go viral. It's going to be great. But that's the point. You want to be excited about everything, because guess what? The world lacks a whole lot of right now. Excitement, passion. Well, they're passionate about some of the wrong things, but they're passionate. Okay, but they need to be excited. We want to show people where we're going, and people want to follow somebody who's excited. And for me, a lot of the reason why I'm so successful is because I haven't shut up about this thing for 6 years. And so people that have been watching me, I had a girl from elementary school that I was best friends with. Her mom messaged me today for the first time asking me for information about a product. Because she was like, this girl hadn't shut up about this stuff for 6 years. There's got to be something to it. What is that? 6 years. But are you going to be here? Are you willing to commit to that? Are you going to be that consistent that the people who were, 12 when you signed up are 18 now and joining the team with you? Are you going to be that committed? Are you going to be that consistent? Because if you are, you'll be successful. There's no shortcut. There is no magic sauce or secret that you're missing that you're like, well, why am I not getting where I'm supposed to be? You're either not being consistent, you're not doing enough of the 6 list, like maybe you're messaging, but it's like 5 people, right? You want to make sure that you're messaging enough people to get in good conversations with people. Maybe you haven't done your follow-ups. Maybe you're not consistent with that. Maybe you're not doing self-development every day. Whatever it is, make sure that you're doing your 6 list and that you're doing enough of it and that you do it consistently over a long period of time. You're going to see the results. But there's got to be that excitement behind it. When you message, you got to be excited about it. And I don't mean that you wake up and you're like, so excited, let's work my business today, gonna go message some people on Facebook, so excited. No, like, you don't do that every single day, and I understand that. Sometimes I wake up and I don't want to do this business. Can I be honest? I sometimes don't want to do this. The only difference between me and someone who is not successful is that I still do it anyways. On those days, I still show up. And so when I don't feel like doing it, I just do the work anyways because I'm disciplined, then the excitement comes. Then the excitement follows. Don't work based on how you feel. Work based on what you want. Because what you want doesn't change based on how you feel that day. But what you want is going to be there. And so if you work based on what you want, the feeling will follow. That feeling of excitement that people are so like, oh my gosh, like I want to do what she's doing. This is so exciting. Like this is a big deal. You know, she hasn't shut up about that for a whole 2 weeks. Like, what is this coffee this girl keeps talking about on her Instagram story? That's going to be you. But if you're committed to the process. So that's my answer to that. And obviously I spent more time on that one because I get so excited about that because I think people are waiting for this like magical thing that I'm like, surprise, we haven't told you about this. We've been keeping it a secret. It's not. It's just consistency. It's just consistency. Okay. The next question that we have is, okay, let's talk about self-development a little bit. That was the next question, is just kind of explaining what that is. So put a 4 in the chat if you have never heard of self-development before until just this right now. So I just said it now. Put a 4. And that's okay. I want you to be honest because I had never heard of it whenever I joined this business. Nobody in my family was talking about no self-development, okay? So, or personal development. It's the same thing. Put a 4 in the chat if you're like, new to me, never heard of that. Okay. I'm going to explain what it is, and then I'm going to explain some different ways you can do it, okay? So, okay. How about this? Okay, now you have some people being honest. Perfect. Okay, so self-development is super simple. Okay, there's a lot of different ways you can do it, but basically what it is helping you grow yourself to become the best version of who you are. Not changing you, but helping you to become who God created you to be, the best version of yourself. A couple different ways you can do that. My best advice, if you're brand new to this and you're like, I've never done self-development before, this would be fun, okay? Search motivation in YouTube. And just start watching little clips. They're usually like 11, 13 minutes, whatever. Search motivation in YouTube. And I dare you to go watch motivational videos on YouTube for every single day while you drive to work, while you drive home from work, while you're doing the dishes, while you're doing laundry. All of these different little tasks that you do throughout the day where you either have music playing, have a TV blaring in the background while you just aren't doing anything, you're just unloading the dishwasher. Play self-development in the background. And somebody said, Michael Todd, so actually make sure that you don't confuse self-development with spiritual development. Okay, they're different. So whenever we think about sermons and quiet times, whatever you call it, devotionals, things like that, those are great. I'm all for that. If that's your thing, go for it. I do that every morning, but that's spiritual development. Okay, so if you're talking about personal development, this is different. Okay, and I do both every day because that's my choice. But either way, make sure you're doing self-development because that's something like the motivational videos on YouTube. It's something about a business book, like something about growing yourself as a leader, learning about like money mindset. All of those things are personal development. Okay, so I just know Brooke is like putting stuff in the chat. So Brooke, I'm going to ask you to do this again too. So put motivation in YouTube. That's one thing that you can do. Another one is I want to recommend a couple of different like books to you. So one would be Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. That's a really good one. You can find these on the Audible app. A lot of these are available on YouTube for free as well. Another one is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And Robin, that's the one that I recommended to you. So whenever I recommended that book, that's self-development. So yes, Darren Hardy. So those two books, those are incredible. And I love listening to self-development now. And anytime I'm in the car, that's the first thing that is on whenever I turn the car on. I just listen to self-development whenever I drive because it doesn't take any extra time out of my day. You can read a book if you want to, but I know we're all so busy. We joined this business because we wanted freedom of time, not because we had an extra 30 minutes a day to sit down and read a book. If that's your thing, go for it. But most of us don't have that time. I know I don't. So I listen to Audible books and things like that. Okay, so that's something that I want you to do. And the question was trying to like reiterate the difference between self-development and spiritual development and the difference between the two and things like that. But guys, this is crucial because whenever you come into this business, you come in as, just for example, a level 2 person. Okay, so we're all level 2 people. And then you have this level 3 problem. And let's just say that that thing is you message people and they leave you on red. Raise your hand if your camera's on, if that bothers you right now. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. They didn't respond back to me. Okay, maybe this business isn't for me. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. What if nobody wants these products? It's a big deal. Okay, that's the case for most people whenever they join. So here's the deal. You joined as a level 2 person. You have this level 3 problem, which is people leaving you on red. But through self-development, you grow and you realize through the compound effect that everything that you do every day adds up and that people are seeing your stuff and that actually they have to see it an average of 7 to 9 times before they even reach out to you about it. And then after that, you have to follow up with them. And then you're going to realize, oh, it's not me. Oh, it's not the products. This is just how it goes. This is just statistically what is supposed to happen. And then you grow and you become a level 3 person. And now this level 3 problem of people leaving you on red, still a level 3 problem, still the same. But now you're a level 3 person and you're looking at it dead in the eye and you're like, I can take this. This is not a big deal. Then you continue to grow yourself. You continue to read, books or listen to self-development or listen to those motivational podcasts. And you realize that you can do anything that you set your mind to because you have made the choice. You've made the decision that Brooke was talking about earlier. You're surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, blah, 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 whatever it is. You become a level 5 person. Now this level 3 problem doesn't really seem like a problem anymore at all, right? And that's how you become better. And that's why that stuff doesn't bother me. I don't think twice about it anymore. Side note, please, 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 for the love of all that is good in this world, do not go back through your messages to see if they read it or if they didn't, okay? Please don't do that. I have people that are like scrolling back through, like, oh, 3 people left me on red. I'm like, how do you know that? And they're like, I scrolled back through. I'm like, bro, you wasting time. You could have been messaging 35 more people. And you were looking back through who left you on red. That thought doesn't serve you. You have to learn to not waste your time on things that do not serve you or make you feel better. Okay? That's one of those things. Okay, so while we're on the topic. All right. So that's why you do self-development. That's some different ways you can do it. All right, what can I do to start bringing in more customers and distributors? I've tried following people and adding people on Facebook. That is great. That's so important. If you're not growing your network, you're not going to have any new people to talk to. You're going to be talking to the same people over and over again. But here's the deal, guys. At the same time, that's only one part of the 6 list. What do we do every day? I want you to put it in the chat because I've answered this question. I want to see who's listening. Put it in the chat. What do you do every day to grow your business? Because obviously she posted this question 7 hours ago. She didn't have this answer before. So anybody in the chat, what do you do every single day to grow your business? If you want to get customers and distributors, 6 list, consistency. That's the 2 things. 6 list and consistency. That's it. If you do those 2 things, customers and distributors, they're going to flow. Whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, that's why you need to listen to the compound effect. It doesn't matter how long it takes, they're going to start coming. Okay? What do you do whenever you feel stuck? Okay? There was a Zoom that we had with a bunch of leaders before this. And on that Zoom, we had another top leader talking about this, and she kind of mentioned this. I wrote it down because it was a good answer to this question. Is like whenever you feel stuck and you're doing the 6 list, you've been doing it consistently over an extended amount of time, because if you feel stuck, you likely are missing one of those 3 things. You either aren't consistently doing your 6 list, or you're not doing the whole entire 6 list, or you haven't been consistent with your 6 list for a long time. You're like, I am being consistent with my 6 list. Yeah, yesterday and today. Okay, but it's got to be longer than that, right? Or, well, I do everything in my 6 list, but I don't do my self-development. Okay, so that means you're messaging people with a lack of belief. Or you're getting distracted by all these other things that are holding you back in your mindset, and you're bringing that to your Instagram. That's what you're pouring out to your social media, right? So make sure that you're doing all those things. But let's say you're doing your 6 list consistently every single day, and you've been doing that for 6 months or longer and never missed a day. Let's just say that. Then you probably don't have direction. You don't know where you're going. That would be my guess. You don't know what it is that you're working for. So you feel exhausted because there's no direction that you're headed towards. You don't know where you want to go. So whether that's, the shopping spree, your Ruby chart, like you're filling out your Ruby chart, whether it's helping a customer or helping a distributor get their shopping spree, you get your bonus, they get their shopping spree, whatever it might be, you've got to have a direction. Are you going after this $5,000 Emerald bonus? What are the steps to get you there? What are some things you can work on now? How can you win the day today? What are some things that you can do to win and to show up? That's what you need to be asking yourself, because if you feel like you're just like doing all of this to do all of this, it's going to mean a whole lot of nothing, and you're going to feel stuck even if you're not stuck. You can be in the same place for a long time and not feel stuck. I guarantee right now, Brooke, she's been in the business for a while and she's been at the same rank for a while, and I guarantee that in the past she's felt stuck, but although she's still at the same rank she was at last week, last month, last year, right now Brooke doesn't feel stuck. And it's not because her position moved, it's because her perspective changed. Her position is still the same. She's still in the same place that she was in before, but now she has a different view of it. Because she changed her mindset to believing in herself. She has a clear vision of where she wants to go, and that's diamond in this bonus. Right? She wants to go emerald. She wants to get her husband's account to emerald. She wants to do all these things, but not only that, but she knows why she wants to do all these things. And it's not a paycheck. It's what that paycheck is going to do for her family. That's what keeps her fighting, because she's going to give up on $2,000 a month every day when things get hard. But will she give up on her son, who she gets to stay at home with because of that $2,000? She will never give up on Granger. I know that because she works super hard to be with him. So you've got to make it mean something. Your why's got to mean something. And you have to have that direction. You have to have that focus. That's what I would do if you're stuck. Ask yourself those questions. Am I doing the 6 list? Am I doing it consistently? And have I been doing it for 6 months consistently? All 6 things? Probably not. If so, you don't have direction. And maybe you need to implement all of those. Maybe you aren't doing any of them right now. And if you implement all of those, your business is going to change dramatically, and I'm so excited to see that. I don't know if we got to everything, but I think we got to most of it. I'll double check the questions in a second, but I want to hop off here. But before I do, I have one other thing I want to talk about, and this isn't a question that anybody asked, but it's something that a lot of people have mentioned in chats, and I just want to kind of address it and remind you about the truth behind this. And this is something that I learned through self-development too. Whenever people say not having any luck, I'm not having any luck getting distributors. I'm just not having any luck with my host to post. It's not about luck. And I listened to this, and I typed in motivation in YouTube, and I watched this video, and I watched it so much that I remember exactly the quote that this dude that I couldn't even tell you who he was, what he said. He said, successful people don't believe in luck. They believe in doing whatever it effing takes. And I quote, successful people don't believe in luck. It doesn't mean anything to them. It's not about luck. And I'll be honest, somebody messaged me the other day from one of my TikToks or Reels or something, and replied to a story or something, one of my highlights. And she commented, or she replied back to it in one of my DMs, and she said, you're just so lucky. Most people don't get this far. And honestly, it really pissed me off. Only because, not because of her, she was being sweet with it. She didn't mean anything by it. But whenever I know the work that I've put into this and someone chalks it up to luck, do you know what I mean? It's like telling a pro NFL player, oh, you're so lucky. No, they did 2-a-days when somebody was sitting in there, I don't know, going on the beach and eating chips during summer. They did 2-a-days. That's why they're where they are. It's not luck. It's earned. Success is not luck. Success is earned. And so it rubbed me the wrong way because I was like, if you only saw what I did to get here, you would know it's not luck. And so I just want to remind you that it's not about luck, good or bad luck. There is no such thing as luck. It's all about what you do with the resources that you have. And you can do whatever it takes to get where you want to be with the resources that you have. If you couldn't, why would God bring you here? God doesn't bring you here just to let you fail. He has a good plan for you. So if he brought you to this place, this is a gift. And you're going to be able to utilize that for good. And you're going to be able to, sorry, I worked out today and I have like a cough ever since. But you're going to be able to do exactly what you want to do with this business if you're willing to use the tools that God's put in place for you with this business. And it's not going to be about luck. If you say, oh, I'm not having any luck with Host to Post, it just means, why don't you reframe that and say, I haven't messaged enough people yet for Host to Post. Do you see how that responsibility falls back on you? Not just some luck out here in thin air that should be better so that you can have more success. Responsibility is on you to be better. So if I'm not having any luck with Host to Post, that means I haven't done enough. So I'm going to go do more of the right thing. Do more of the next right thing. If I'm not having any luck with distributors, then maybe I'm not doing everything that people who enroll distributors are doing. Maybe I haven't posted in 2 weeks about the business and I'm like, I'm not having any luck with distributors. No, boo-boo, you're not posting. No, you haven't done your 6 list. You know I'm getting real when I call you boo-boo. Okay, that's like a sign, like, uh-oh, like I'm being for real. Okay. No, boo-boo. Here's the thing. You have what it takes, and it doesn't take luck. The good news is that there is no luck, which means that there's also no bad luck. Some of you were like, well, I want a little luck. No, because there is no luck. There's no good luck or bad luck. You just get what you put into this. This works for you if you work for it. And I cannot stress that enough. That's why I say if you want to be successful, 6 lists and consistency. That's it. Give it a chance. Stay committed. Commit to the process, not to the results. Don't worry about who's signing up. Don't worry about who's liking your pictures. Don't worry about who's quitting. Don't worry about who's starting. I don't care about any of that stuff. I just care, did you show up? Amy, did you show up? Caitlin, did you show up? Brooke, did you show up? Because that's all I care about. If Brooke showed up today, I'm proud of her, and I don't care if she signed a single customer and she got 0 likes on her live. I don't care. Because Brooke showed up, and that's what Brooke can control, and that's what I'm proud of. That's what I want from all of you. And if you just show up every day for an extended amount of time, you can do anything that you want to do. And if nobody's told you that lately, you can. You can have anything that you want. You can do anything that you want to do, and you can have it all. And you don't have to dream small. And you don't have to shrink your dreams or your goals to make other people feel good because they're not going after theirs. You can have it all. And you deserve that. And you're worthy of that. And God will bless the work that you put your hands to. Okay? You can do this. It's not about luck. It's about, are you going to show up? Okay. All right, boo-boo. We got to go. We got to get off here. We already went 5 minutes over. I'm going to end the recording.